I want to talk a little bit about Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, particularly as it relates to acting. A lot of people would say that Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is the pinnacle for a modern actor in a modern play. There's Hamlet in Shakespeare's day, playing George or Martha, and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is considered if it's not the mountaintop, it's up there. I want to briefly introduce you to the play to give you some idea of the stakes that are involved. Because in any play, there are rules and givens. If you're growing up poor in Bronx in 1950 and you're black, you have a different set of rules than someone who is all of those things but rich, or all of those things but black, or all of those male, female. You, depending on the time, the place, what you're going to have a different set of givens. This is the way your world is. And you're going to have a set of rules that you choose to live by as a result. So this couple, and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, George and Martha, she's the daughter of a fancy schmancy upper crust liberal arts college in the Northeast, and he is a professor at the college. He's been there for quite a long time. He met her there, and their marriage has soured. They are they have gotten to the point that they're whatever you want to call it, frenemies. They're You can tell that they were once in love, but it's gone bad, and they're out to get at each other every chance they can. Now, being academics, they live in a certain world that's different than some other people. They're both highly educated, which makes for a different world. If you're going to fight educated style, you might use fancy smancy words or complex arguments to make your point. In any case, among the rules that have developed are that they've come to this love hate point where they are at each other's throats constantly. They've created a game that they're both out to win. In fact, the sections of the play are named as game names. One part of the game that's developed is their son. Here's a spoiler alert: he doesn't exist. Their son is this gimmick they've created between them that they use to get at each other. So one of them might say on any given day, he called me this week. Did he call you? All right. They both know the son doesn't exist. And one of the givens in this production, is that they don't talk about him to anybody. Well, on this particular evening, after a campus faculty party, they invite a younger couple. The young man is a brand new professor at the college. They invite them back over for more drinks, and throughout this boozy night of hatred and recriminations and physical and mostly verbal attacks on each other, they try to tear each other apart until they get to the point that George, the husband, makes one of the most amazing decisions. It's the most terrifying example of grace that I've ever seen in theater, where he decides to kill their son and announces that their imaginary son is dead. Yes, it's a little bit weird, it's a little bit odd, but he's realized that the only way to stop this game is to stop the game. And he's begun to see that the younger couple is starting to head down the same road that he and Martha are on. And he wants to try to save their souls if he can. That's a lot to put into one acting performance. Let's take a look at our textbook and just a quick gander at how we start to pull all this together. This is very early on in the play. The younger couple hasn't shown up yet. So we're looking at page 206. Okay? George has just warned Martha, don't bring up our son. Okay? So, top of page 206, Martha says, you make me puke. George says, what? She says, you make me puke. Well, that wasn't a very nice thing to say, Martha. That wasn't what? A very nice thing to say. I like your anger. I think that's what I like about you most, your anger. Now, okay, She just said, "You make me puke." He just said, "That's not a very nice thing to say." She says, "I like your anger." Did you see any anger there? Okay, the point is, he doesn't get angry, which is what she immediately goes on to say. You're such a simp. You don't do anything. You're impotent. You never really get angry or do anything. In fact, you don't even have the. And he says, "Guts?" And she yells back, "Phrase maker!" And they both laugh and take a drink, maybe. Well, well, remember, she's the daughter of a college president. He's an English teacher. The best word he can come up with is wimp, or sorry, guts. You don't even have the guts. It looks like phrase maker is a little inside joke from back when maybe things were a lot better. That when one or the other of them came up with a really simple, uneducated word, the other one would say, "Ooh, phrase maker. Wow, look at you with your education and these fancy words." And so he throws out guts. And for that second, they're not. She yells phrase maker. It's a joke from back when they were in love. It's a momentary break. She just wants to make the joke. Then she asks him, put some more, give me some more to drink, give me some more ice. You never put any ice in my drink. Why is that, huh? I always put ice in your drink. You eat it. That's all. He goes after her, chewing ice cubes like a cocker spaniel. They'll crack your big teeth. Ooh, they're all. If you're not winning in this game, you're losing. As in most games. If you're not zinging her, she's not zinging you. You stand the chance of losing this round. So she says, "You don't put any ice in my drinks." He says, blah blah blah. You're chewing on them with your big teeth. She says, "They're my big teeth." To which he replies, "Some of them." Oh, okay. So yeah, we're gonna point out the fact that you don't have all of your teeth. She mentions, "I've got more teeth than you've got." Ooh, there's the comeback. You're gonna point out the fact that I don't have all my teeth. Well, more than you. Okay. Two more. Well, two's a lot more. I suppose it is. It's pretty remarkable considering how old you are. Ooh. So yeah, you get two more teeth, but, considering how old you are, that is pretty impressive. Bam, bam, bam. You're not so young yourself. You're going bald. So are you. Back and forth. Bam, bam, bam. And then, "Hello, honey. Hello. Come over. Give your mommy a big sloppy kiss." And then they get mushy for a little bit. And the rest of the night of hell plays out like this. I'll show you a clip. Again, sorry about the video quality of the clip that I'm going to show you. Hopefully, before we even get around to watching this in the semester, I'll have something a little bit nicer for you. But we're going to take a clip at the most famous performance of this play with Elizabeth Taylor and her husband Richard Burton, and get a sense of what the dynamic is like. But what matters here is that we have a rule, we have a game, and at every single second you're either up or you're down. And you can take that and slowly build on that to get to the bigger, the more dramatic scenes. Just like with the pigeon. Okay? Pigeon wants something, gets an initial no. You can say he loses that one. Tries, comes back with something a little smarter that might get what he wants. Gets another no. It's got to come back with something for that. And there's that back and forth can lead to something like the pigeon exploding, or something as dramatic as the things that go on in this